Welcome back. Today we will be budgeting my paycheck for May 15th. Right now I do have my YNAB showing the underfunded filter, but I'm going to clear that out. I'm just going to go to all. And the first thing that you should do when you budget in YNAB is cover the overspending, because anything overspent is going to take away money from your ready to assign, and you don't want to accidentally assign out money that you've already spent. My reimbursements category is overspent by $30. I am going to leave this overspent because this is money that will be paid back to me. However, my car taxes are also overspent by $637. Last video, I did take money from this fund to fund other things. So now it is short, and I am just going to cover this with ready to assign. One of the reasons that I went ahead and paid my car taxes, even though they're not due until the end of June, is I am in the process of replacing my car. And so if I go ahead and pay the current taxes, I will pay a lot lower tax rate than the taxes I would have to pay on a new car. So I went ahead and paid them to save myself a little bit of money. I'm going to go back to the budget. I have had cash flow between the last video and the current video. If you are not watching my daily what I spend videos, let's go over a few inflow amounts. This doesn't count. This is just me zeroing out my car account. This is me paying my credit card, but I did switch my car insurance. So I switched my car insurance from Progressive to State Farm, and that saved me about $700. That transaction process between this video and the last one. Also, I was reimbursed for towing fees, and I think those are the two major transactions. I am also working on some bank bonuses, and so one of those paid out for $200. And I think those are the highest amounts of money that I've received. So I had a good bit of money coming in that I could use and budget with in between this video and the last video. And I just used that money to fund any unpaid bills or any of my sinking funds that still needed to be funded for May. While I don't think I have a lot to fund left for the month, I do want to talk through some categories. My car payment category, I haven't replaced my car yet, and my totaled vehicle is in the process of being paid off. So I don't have any money allocated to that category. My car insurance, I touched on a little bit. It did go up at the end of last month. And shopping around, I did switch insurance carriers. And so I changed the target for this one to be more in line with the new carrier's coverage. And this may also still go up a little bit depending on upcoming changes or whatever car I may have in the future. Verizon, I did not notice this earlier. I have 208.57. I believe this is overfunded because I only pay $165. This is overfunded because when my daughter gave me money for the phone bill, I infloed it directly to this category. And I need to change how I did that. So I'm going to do that on screen because when I inflow the money directly to this category, it didn't count it as money assigned. So I'm going to go and click on this transaction and change this to ready to assign. What that will do, if I did it correctly, I need to go back to see how much that was. $43.57. I need to take that $43.57 and put it somewhere, but since I've already funded the phone bill for this month, I'll just assign it out with everything else. Let's see, food and drink is good. Hobbies, I spent all my money, and I also have upcoming transactions, but I have a return that's being processed, and then I also have some additional money. So these two upcoming transactions are probably not going to flow through my bank accounts, and so I'm not going to add any additional money there. I do need to fund groceries for the next 2 weeks. That's $225.86. Family fund is already funded. Gifts, I did buy Mother's Day gifts, and I had a Mother's Day category down here. After the holiday, I rolled those 2 transactions into the gifts category, and then I took the overage, which I think I had maybe $100 and something left in the Mother's Day category. I just took that overage and assigned it out to other sinking funds that needed it. Let's see, I'm still good on household consumables and household durables. We're not going to cover any reimbursements. Car taxes is fully spent. I probably need to change the target for this. I'm going to type in here. I'm just going to change it to May 31st. Actually, May 15th, 2025. And then for next year, I'm going to leave the target at 1,000 because I just don't know what it'll be next year. Once I select a new vehicle, I can go online for my county and complete an estimator to see how much my car taxes will be for next year, and then I can change the target to match that amount. So maybe I do need to, can I make this an exact match? Okay, and I'll change this target once I have a better idea of what future car taxes may be. Thanksgiving and Christmas, I'm leaving these for now, but since I've consolidated Mother's Day into the gifts category, and once Father's Day passed, I will probably also move that to the gifts category. I think at some point I may consolidate these into holidays, a holidays category. But for now, they're fine. Clothes looks good. These look good. Subscriptions are funded. And then Wish Farm, I did remove that Marc Jacobs bag that I wanted off of my Wish Farm. I did purchase a Marc Jacobs crossbody. I think I talked about it in one of my daily videos, but the purse was heavier than I expected it to be, and I just wasn't able to carry it as easily as I thought I could, and so I returned it. And I removed that other bag off of my Wish Farm. That could change later, but for now, I'm okay with keeping it these 2 categories. With all the stuff around the Nintendo Switch 2, I may not get one until the end of this year or 2026, depending on demand and other things. But I don't have any funds, anything funded for those categories, so I'll just leave them for now. So that is everything for May. I do want to check to see if I missed anything, to see what's underfunded. These categories were underfunded intentionally, so I'll leave them alone. And then I want to check anything overfunded. So medical is overfunded. So what happened here is I did order a brace off of Amazon, and I paid for it with the medical category, but then I was able to get that item reimbursed through my FSA. And so I think that is causing this to be overfunded. So I'm just going to reduce overfunding by $2.56. And then I'm going to go to June. I'm not sure how I want to tackle this. I did notice that this credit card is showing underfunded, but it looks like I have upcoming transactions, so that's why it's showing underfunded, so that's fine. I'll leave it. Let's start with the bills, and then we'll just keep moving forward until we have no money left. So we're going to fund home security, because these would be due with my paycheck on the 31st. This car payment still has a target from last time. I don't know if I want to fund half or not. I'm just going to skip it for now. And We'll come back to that later. Paying my water bill, the estimated amount needed for my car insurance, my phone bill, and then I should subtract. I'll just cover the whole thing, and if my daughter gives me money for it, I'll work that out later. And then the light bill. Also, for monthly bills, I'm going to skip the daily category because if I put money here, I'm more likely to spend it, and I don't want to overspend on my day-to-day spending. I am going to skip the home categories for now. Same with stuff I forgot to budget, fees and reimbursement. So let's head to the sinking funds. So I will assign money to home maintenance. I'm going to make sure some of my subscriptions, especially the ones that are like monthly bills, these are the ones that I pay monthly. I'm going to make sure those are funded, which they are. All right, let's go to the underfunded just to see what's left. We got $720.79. So I'll fund vacay. Summer's coming up. $225. Tithe, which I should have done that first. And then $50 for kids. $22 for household durables. Got $60.15. I don't know how much it matters where this goes. So I'm going to put it in maintenance. And so it looks like I still have overfunding in my car taxes and in my medical. Let's take that money and put it somewhere else. $3.49 is not enough for me to really worry about where it goes. All right, and I think that is everything. So going back to May, everything is mostly covered for the month. My targets are high for my cost to be me. Looks like I'm over by maybe $140. I should probably reassess my targets. I wish it kind of would show me which ones, but it doesn't really matter that much. I'll go through and make adjustments as necessary. I try to keep everything as close to the real totals, especially for my bills. My bills are almost exact with the targets. Some of these other things like HOA and birthdays, sinking fund stuff, maybe I can lower some of these to get more in line with my actual paycheck. So I'll take a look at these later. And we'll see if I come up with anything. How do I have $30 to assign? So I have $30 left to assign in May, but not in June. Not sure where that money came from. So I know I'm not contributing anything to my car payment, but I'm just going to park this $30 here so I know where it's at in case that comes back to bite me later that I need $30 or it makes me oversign in June. Yeah. Let's just undo that. So I'm going to assign this money to reimbursements. And hopefully that doesn't, yeah, that handles the overspending and it stops it from flashing red in June. Once I am reimbursed for that loan, then I'll take that money and move it somewhere else in the budget. So that was an interesting surprise. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with me. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, if you have any questions about anything in my budget, about how I do anything, about how I set up my YNAB, why I do something a certain way, or if you have a way for me to do things better, feel free to leave that in the comments below. I'll catch you next time.